Did you ever wonder why you wind up in the same old relationship drama repeatedly? No matter what you do, it's that old Groundhogs Day grind where you're in yet another self-destructive relationship. Whether it's a relationship where the guy just doesn't pay attention, doesn't care, it just turned out that everything you thought he wasn't, and nothing of what you thought he was. Well, it took me years to figure out what my major malfunction was in that regard. I'm Linda Williams, and I'm happy to bring you Who's Apple a Day. What this Groundhog's Day grind is what's being brought out of our internal selves as a result of what we've gone through in the past. Without fail, you wind up bringing into your life the same stuff that you on some deeper level told yourself you would never go through again, you would never put up with again, that you would never do again. And it's just a Groundhog's Day over and over again. You get to repeat it over and over until you get it right. And sometimes we just throw up our hands and say, forget about it. I got other things to do with my life. There's everything in us that wants a deeper relationship with a man. Somebody who's going to be affirming. Somebody that's going to be encouraging. Somebody just to really love us the way that we feel that we're capable of loving. And what we do is we keep choosing people who are incapable of reciprocating or appreciating everything that we are. Well, if you're caught up in that Groundhog's Day grind, I want to give you a couple of pointers to help you to kind of pull yourself out of it. I want you to get a piece of paper and I want you to write down on it every hurt you've ever experienced. Start back in your past and draw a timeline. Just draw a line across the page, okay? And then you're going to start at maybe, say, the year you were born will be at the far left end and this year will be at the right end. And go along that path from the time you were born till this right end and write down any significant things that ever happened to you, whether they were good or bad. Now, you don't have to share this with anybody because it's got to be an honest effort and it may take you a while. Whether it was traumatic or hurtful, relationships or not, failures in life or career, whatever it was, I want you to write it along that timeline. Now, when you go back and look at that timeline, you're going to probably determine that there's a pattern there. We want to look at those patterns and determine why they're there. What you're going to find, too, is you're going to go through and you're going to tell yourself, write down on a separate sheet of paper, tell yourself the things that you told yourself about those situations. How did you experience those situations at that age, at that point in your life? I guarantee you that in those patterns, you're going to see a common thread. And within that common thread will be the key to breaking this Groundhog's Day grind of a relationship trauma, drama, whatever you want to call it. It's not so much about the people that you're in relationship with that is the problem. It's all about the internal scripts that you're telling yourself that you're totally unaware of. Hey, the bottom line is this. In order to gain control, you have to concentrate on your own sphere of control. I want you to imagine 3 circles. The smaller circle, the larger circle, and the larger circle. The smaller circle is your sphere of control. It excludes everybody but you. So before we go to talking about what he, she did wrong, we need to really look at the decisions we made, why we made those decisions to be in relationship with these people. Leverage the lesson we learn in those answers and move forward leveraging what we learned to ensure that we don't do it again. You can't control him or her. You can't control those other people. And I hate to tell you this, wrong as they are, they could be wrong as 2 left shoes. It matters not because you cannot control that. Now, the degree to which you get control in your sphere of control, which excludes everybody but you, determines the degree of influence you have on your outer circles. So while you cannot control other people, you can definitely influence other people based on how you're living your life, the decisions that you make in your life, and the boundaries you draw with yourself. This is not about drawing boundaries. We hear in relationship counseling all the time, drawing boundaries with others. Okay, well, you know what? It's really the boundaries you draw with yourself based on the information you're going to leverage from this exercise that's going to make the difference in your life. Now, the other thing that happens is sometimes because of who we are deep down inside, we will tend to see in a man or a woman their potential. We see who God created them to be. Now, there's a big difference between who God created you, him, her to be, and what life has twisted up. Unfortunately, the reality in these Groundhogs Day relationships is always about how twisted that person has become by their own life experiences. Okay? You have become twisted by your own life experiences. That's the truth of the matter. We come here one way as God created us with everything that we need to make sure that we can accomplish our purpose for being here. That includes our characters and our personalities. But sometimes even as early as childhood, things happen that are traumatic to us. And those things will twist us out of our God-given characters and personalities. Now, the reality of what people are dealing with in relationships with us is that twisted character that we have become. You can't change that twisted character in another person. Bottom line is that no matter how much potential you see in them, it's what they see in the mirror when they're looking in the mirror that makes a difference in their life. And your potential, the potential you see in them, is not a reality. It's a fantasy waiting to happen. Because unless and until they're introduced to their real person, the true person, the person God created them to be, they will never be what you need. So 2 things is enough for now. We're going to do the timeline. We're going to write down things that happened to us, good or bad, along that timeline. We're going to look back at it and make a list of little notes about how we experienced it at that time. Now, you can't be trying to analyze that based on right now. You really need to do some digging and look at how you experienced that at that time. And then on another sheet of paper, you're just going to take down notes about that. You're going to take a look at that and determine if you see any patterns in that. And then you're going to take an honest look and determine how those things are playing out in your current relationship, whether that's girlfriends, boyfriends, career, whatever it is, it's playing out in your life some kind of way. And then we're going to remember that we have to remove the focus from the wrong they did to us to our own circle of control, which is nobody in that circle but us. And we're going to get before God and ask him to show us where we went wrong. Lord, why did I make the decision to be in relationship with that person? Because the bottom line is you had to make a decision to be in relationship with that person. Bad or good, however that boyfriend-girlfriend relationship turned out, you made a decision to be in a relationship with that person. That decision was within your sphere of control, and that's where we're going to look. I'm looking forward to carrying on this conversation with you later down the line. But right now, do those things and write me. Write me. Follow me at Who's Apple. Be sure to like us on Facebook at Who's Apple Empowerment Center. Check the book trailer out, Whose Apple Is It Anyway? Empowering Purpose to Achieve Your God-Ordained Destiny. And I'll see you on the backside.